path that leads to hell is a path that many will fall into and never understand why. Today we will ensure that you do not have to experience this fate, but that if you wish to go to hell, you can do it consciously. Or perhaps you may want to avoid it altogether. Your choice. But first we have to understand, what is hell? What does this even mean? And I found the best definition is that hell is synonymous with separation from God. Well, okay then, but what is God? What does this even mean? God seems to be a vague word that is subjective to most people. Is there some universal truth that we can all come to understand? Even if you're an atheist? Even if you subscribe to any religion on the planet? So let us take a moment to dive deep into the nature of God, so that we can come to an understanding that is good for all. Some common definitions of the word God might be the creator of existence, the creator of the universe, divine intelligence, the universe itself, life itself, consciousness, the absolute, the all, everything that is, God the Father, God the Mother. We must accept the idea that God is beyond all words, all ideas, all concepts. If you think about it, God by definition existed before there was human beings. Therefore, before any discussion, God is immediately beyond all thoughts, beyond all words, beyond all ideas. And so any concept of God in our minds is only that, an idea. God does not exist as an idea, as a concept, but as a reality. So whatever it is that we come to understand, whatever definition, we have to be willing to let it go. Because we cannot put the unlimited, the absolute, into a box. God cannot be boxed. But as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing that is not God. Fundamentally, God appears in two ways. In the beginning, as the absolute, the source of all creation, the infinite and eternal source of life, an infinite, formless state of energy that we know as consciousness, this heavenly sea of bliss in which we each have our own tiny droplet, this God essence within us that is our source of life. And then as the second state of God, God as this universe, God in form, that same absolute infinite energy vibrating at the rate of infinity and zero. This existence is the dynamic play between infinite nothingness and infinite everythingness. Yin, yang, dark, light, order, chaos. I think I got that mixed up. The force of order is God the Father, and the force of chaos is God the Mother. You have the womb of the universe, the emptiness, the space, and you have the seed, the divine intelligence that gives life to the entire thing. And so that infinite energy that is consciousness is slowed down all the way to zero. And in between you have everything operating at its own unique frequency of existence. And so in this sense, there is nothing that is not God. God is the only thing that is, and separation is an illusion. Just as how the colors of the rainbow are all part of the one same white light. If you've ever seen the prism or like the Pink Floyd logo where you have the one beam of light that gets transferred into all the different colors. Yes, there is temporarily the image of red, blue colors. But all of these colors get their existence from the one light, that white light. So simply put, God, the two states of God, one as the infinite and formless white light and as the infinite array of different colors. But as we said in the beginning, hell is separation from God. So if God is all there is, how can we ever be separated from God? This doesn't make any sense. Rightly so. You are right. There is no separation from God. Hell is an illusion. It does not really exist. It only exists when we are caught in the illusion and living in unconsciousness. Because unconsciousness is living in darkness, and where there is darkness, there is no light. Therefore, we have the illusion of being separated from the light. The truth is always there. The light is always there. We are just unable to see it. Think about it in your own life. We know by definition that God is omnipresent, which means that God is everywhere always. And so if God is never separated from you, then why do you not experience God all the time, 24/7? There is something that must be creating the illusion of separation. And that little something is called the mind. The mind is a tool to direct the flow of life within us, this energy, this God essence, this force of creation, so that we can create our own reality. The mind is a tool of separation that points. It's pointy like a sword. And so it can chop and cut down. Better yet, it's like a laser beam. It's taking that infinite energy and focusing it into a high-powered beam. But the problem is, the beam can only focus on one thing at a time. And so the entire quality of your existence is determined by where you point the beam, by where your attention is focused. Because wherever your attention is focused, that is where you are allowing the flow of life, and that is what you are creating. If your mind is pointed on God all the time, then you will naturally feel closer to God. But if your mind is pointed away from God, but you just said that everything is God, how can you not be pointed at God? How can you be pointed away from God? This doesn't make any sense. Why is spirituality so contradictory? You see, perhaps you have not come to fully accept or realize what it means that God is everything. Because God too is the darkness, it is the death, it is the evil. These things are just the negative polarity of God, the natural consequence of chaos. So you have chaos and order, death and light. But these things are not separate from each other. They are two opposites of one thing, simply different in degree. It's just that in Western society, we have placed all of the evil onto Satan, on some other force that is not God. And that is necessary for whatever reason. But the higher understanding is realizing that both the dark and the light are equally important for the wholeness of all things. Without this contrast, there is no experience, there is no universe, there is no life. So we have to come to understand that there is a force of life and that there is a force of death. But both these forces are necessary for life in general. And death arises from the imbalance of these two forces. It is about balance. Just the same as in society, if there is too much order, you become a tyrannical dictatorship. And if there is too much chaos, it becomes anarchy. There is no structure. But it is precisely in a system that is stable, but constantly renewing itself, evolving and growing, that is life. So now that we've laid the foundation for our understanding, we can come to see the exact path that leads us to hell. The key is in recognizing that energy is life. Physical energy, God in form, and the formless, infinite energy that is consciousness. Separation from consciousness is like separation from God, and this will result in spiritual death. And separation from physical energy will manifest in physical death. Physical death is not important when you are in touch with the Absolute, but separation from the Absolute will lead you to hell. But to avoid confusion, let's just talk about the same one life, because energy is life no matter what form of energy it is. And so we know our mind is a tool that directs the flow of energy. And so it is precisely where we direct the flow of energy that determines how close or far away we are from hell. And so there are three types of action that exist. There is negative action, there is neutral action, and there is positive action. Negative action takes your energy and gives you nothing in return. Positive action gives you more energy than you originally give. And neutral energy neither takes or gives energy. Negative action is what we call sin, and positive action is what we call right action. When you engage in self-destructive behavior and addictions, that steals your energy. When you ruminate on negative thoughts and fear and shame and guilt, that steals your energy. When you engage in negative relationships with others and hurt each other or engage in abusive behavior, that steals your energy. And so it really comes down to only two things: your behaviors and your thoughts. Both will be reflected in how you feel, your emotions. And so you know when you're being separated from your energy, when you feel more tired, when you feel more lethargic, if you're depressed, if you lack motivation and inspiration, when the life within you is not flowing or circulating properly, you lack the will to live. Whether in the most intense way, where you want to commit suicide, or in just like a daily normal way where you've used your energy for the day and you want to go to sleep. And so at any moment you can get in touch with how you feel, your state of being, your state of consciousness, and see where along on the spectrum that you are. Are you moving closer to hell, or do you feel more peace and joy and contentment? And so almost like a plant, you can feel your way towards the sun and away from the darkness. You can see what thoughts give you more energy, make you feel more alive, what actions make you feel more alive, and what actions make you feel more like death. When your soul is calling you to be a certain kind of person or to live a certain kind of life, when we betray that soul's calling, we will feel that, because we will have separated ourselves from our soul and the light within us will dim. So begin paying close attention to your thoughts, the actions that you take, and ask yourself, are you living your purpose? Are you using your God-given talents to give to the world? The only reason that people fall into hell is because they do not control where their mind is being focused. They focus it perpetually on things that could continue to drain their energy. And over a sustained period of time, the life within them is drained. And death is what remains. Darkness, chaos, and hell. And with these things comes an infinite amount of pain and suffering. And so literally all it takes is to make the decision to consciously stop focusing on things that are negative, things that you do not want to experience. Just get rid of them. They're not necessary. All fear, all shame, guilt, any negative emotion is useless. Unless you want to live in the animal kingdom where you use fear as a motivator to get you to engage in action. Or you can rise to higher states of consciousness and consciously create your reality by choosing the things that you want to focus on. Focusing on good thoughts, focusing on the good in your experiences. Because fundamentally the universe is perfectly balanced with chaos and order, positivity and negativity. So everything has some positive and some negative. It's not about what is true, what is factual. It's about what you choose to focus on. That's why they say the mind can make a heaven out of hell and a hell out of heaven. Because you can have 99 things going right and focus on the one thing going wrong and it ruins everything. But you can have 99 things going wrong, focus on the one good thing, and then you rise to higher states of vibration. You escape hell, you escape the negativity. And so long as you are still breathing, you know that you have life within you. And that you have the potential to grow and expand and to create any life that you desire. Because this life, this energy is the force of creation. It's just that we, as a collective species, do not recognize our power as creators. We have not claimed our authority. We still believe ourselves to be little monkeys trying to make it in life, trying to figure things out. It is the animals that live in unconsciousness. And so the more we live in unconsciousness, the more we are a slave to the animal world. And if you've ever seen the animal world, you know how vicious it really is. And so the more you focus on what is good, on God, on the things that truly matter in life, and you get rid of all the things that don't, then you will see not only a reflection in the outer world, but you will experience peace and contentment on a daily basis. That will be your natural state. Whereas most people experience frustration and irritation, dissatisfaction, uneasiness. And so value your energy above all else. Because with this energy, you are creating your reality. And if we waste this life, this energy, That is how we find our way to hell.